All right, everybody. So today we are diving into a place that needs no introduction, but we are going to give you one anyway. We are talking about Istanbul's Grand Bazaar,
Yes,
a place that has been around for centuries.
absolutely.
And I, for one, am so excited to pick your brain about this because,
Mm.
I mean, just the sights, the sounds, the
Yeah,
smells.
it's a full-on sensory experience.
Oh, absolutely. And that's
Uh-huh.
what we want to get into today. Imagine our listeners. They've got their plane tickets booked. They're going to be on the ground in Istanbul. They're ready to tackle this market because it's a behemoth.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's daunting if you're not prepared.
Right. And we want to make sure that they can navigate it with confidence, whether they're looking for, a specific souvenir or they just want to wander and soak it all in.
Right.
So to kick us off, can you give us a little bit of a historical backdrop on this marketplace?
So the Grand Bazaar dates back to the 1400s, so it's been around for close to, 6 centuries now.
Yeah.
And it's constantly evolved since then, but it's always been this incredible hub of trade and commerce.
It's amazing to think about something, that's not a museum, but it's been around that long and is still such a living, breathing part of the city today.
Absolutely. I mean, this is not some kind of sanitized tourist trap. This
Uh,
is where locals shop. This is where, they do business.
Right. It's an authentic experience.
Exactly. It's a real slice of Istanbul's soul. I mean, you talk about the sounds and the smells. Yeah, it's the heart of the city.
Okay, so I am sold. I am ready to book my flight right now, just
Mhm.
hearing you talk about this. But let's say I'm walking into the bazaar for the first time.
Okay.
What am I looking at? What kind of stuff can I buy there?
Oh my goodness. You're talking about everything under the sun. You're talking about spices piled high like you've never seen before.
Really?
Turkish delight stalls with all the different colors and flavors.
That-
Jewelry, ceramics, carpets.
Oh, the carpets.
Yeah.
The Turkish carpets are like legendary.
Oh, absolutely. And these are not your average rugs. We're talking hand woven using techniques that have been passed down for generations, some of them using this double knot technique
Oh, wow.
that takes months to create a single carpet.
I was reading that the designs themselves are often very intricate and tell stories through their patterns.
It's true, and that's what makes them so unique and special. I mean, you're not just buying a carpet, you're buying a piece of art. You're buying a piece of history.
Okay, so you've convinced me I am adding a Turkish carpet to my shopping list.
Good.
But let's talk strategy here, because I know bargaining is a big part of the experience.
Oh, it's just essential.
How much should I expect to haggle, and are there any, key phrases that I need to know to be successful?
Okay, so first of all, lose your fear haggling is part of the culture.
Right, that's a game.
It's a dance. It's a little back and forth.
I love that the price dance.
Exactly. And the vendors, they expect it. So don't be afraid to start low. I mean, like really low, like half of what they're asking.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting, because I think in some cultures we might find that offensive.
Yeah.
But you're saying here it's all part of the fun.
It's expected. It's part of the game. They might act shocked. They might clutch their pearls, but it's all part of the show. And then you kind of meet in the middle.
I love it. Okay, so I've mastered the art of the haggle. What about the layout, though? Because we talked about how massive this place is.
Yes.
How do I not get completely turned around and lost?
So think of it like the bazaar is kind of loosely organized by the type of goods that they're selling.
Okay.
So you'll have a section for textiles, a section for ceramics.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so try to remember landmarks as you're going to maybe make a mental note of like, okay, I saw that fountain with the lions.
That's a good tip.
Now I know I'm in the jewelry section or whatever it might be.
So look for those visual cues.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask for directions. The vendors are usually pretty helpful, even if it's just to point you in the right direction.
And I imagine a lot of them probably speak English as well.
Oh, yeah, most of them speak at least some English, especially if they're dealing with tourists regularly.
Right. Okay, so we've talked about the history.
Yeah.
We've talked about the haggling, the layout. But let's get into the good stuff, the sensory experience, because you
Yeah.
mentioned spices, you mentioned all these amazing things. What should I be prepared for when I walk into this place?
Oh, it is a feast for the senses. The air is thick with the aroma of spices. You're talking saffron, you're talking sumac.
Oh, and I know Turkish coffee is huge there, right?
Oh, yeah.
What is it about Turkish coffee?
I mean, that aroma just wafts through the entire bazaar, and you'll see these vendors brewing it up in these beautiful copper pots called sevve.
Sounds fake, that's right.
And they serve it in these cute little cups.
Yeah, it's a whole ritual.
It's an experience you have to try. It's strong, it's sweet, it's delicious, and it's often offered as a gesture of hospitality.
Oh, that's lovely.
It is, yeah. It's a chance to connect with the locals beyond just buying and selling.
Because it is important, right? We are going into this place, we are guests, we are visitors.
Mm.
So what are some other things that we can keep in mind to be respectful of their culture and their customs?
Just a few basic Turkish phrases go a long way.
Okay.
Even if you just learn how to say hello, which is merhaba,
Merhaba.
merhaba,
Okay.
and thank you, which is teşekkürler.
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 Got it.
Yeah, even that little effort can really make a difference.
I love that.
And then, yeah, like you were saying about the tea, if a shopkeeper offers you a cup of tea, accept it.
Okay.
It's rude to refuse.
Oh.
Yeah, and again, it's an opportunity to chat, to learn more about their craft and their culture.
It's about building a connection.
Exactly. It's about more than just the transaction.
I love that. All right, so as we wrap up here, because I know we could probably talk about the Grand Bazaar for hours.
Oh, yeah, for days.
I want to make sure that our listeners walk away with some key takeaways. So if you had to give like the top 3 things that people should remember before they go to the Grand Bazaar, what would they be?
Okay, number 1, don't be afraid to bargain.
Okay.
Embrace it. Have fun with it.
Price stance?
Price stance, exactly.
Yeah.
Number 2, be prepared for sensory overload, but like in a good way.
Right.
Like embrace the chaos.
Yes.
And number 3, don't be afraid to get lost. Some of the best finds are off the beaten path.
I love it. All right. So there you have it. Your guide to navigating Istanbul's Grand Bazaar, hopefully with a little more confidence now.
Absolutely.
And who knows, maybe you'll even come home with a beautiful Turkish carpet.
You never know.
Make sure you check out the episode description because we have some really amazing travel deals for you guys so you can book your trip to Istanbul and experience this all for yourselves.
Definitely do it.
And here's a little something to think about as we leave you today, because it's not just about the shopping. It's not just about the haggling. It's about the stories. What stories will you uncover in the heart of the Grand Bazaar? Because they're there. You just have to be open to finding them.
That's beautiful. I like that.
So until next time, happy travels, everyone.